Right, friends. Hello. Welcome back to PKSL classes. This is a very important video. Many students have been asking me from a pretty long time, to be very honest. Apologies for them for delaying in doing this particular video. Uh, there are so many reasons for that. Okay, let me keep those reasons aside. First of all, now that we have come to this video, let's straight away get into the topic. So by looking at the title of the video itself, you guys would have understood what this video is all about. So we're going to discuss the top reasons why CA students fail in the exam. So many students have been, especially because of these corona times, many students have been messaging me saying that, sir, mentally we are getting demotivated. We're not having any sort of interest to actually move this, preparation forward. In fact, some students have literally told me that, sir, all the preparations, everything was going so good, and all of a sudden this particular exam postponement announcement has come, and after that we have lost all interest, and now we are wasting our time in so many other ways. So there are lots of problems. We cannot just count them in a specific manner, because there are so many. So what I've done is that, obviously, practically speaking, many of the reasons are personalized in nature, depending upon your family problems or your financial problems or your personal area, your mindset, your psychological traits and all that. So instead, what I've done is that, so it's practically impossible to cover each and every reason. So what I've thought is that let's cover the top reasons. When I say top reasons, I'm talking about the most frequent reasons why, based on my almost now 10 years or 9 years of teaching experience, what I've observed in thousands and thousands of students, which I've seen in my real life. So based on that, I've come to a conclusion. I have, to the best of my understanding, I have analyzed this. These are all the major reasons why students fail in the exam. So this particular video is very important from my perspective. I feel that it's pretty damn important, and it will be more useful for you people as well. So without wasting any further time, let's get into the session. Now, let's start with the first reason. If you can see here, I've put some reasons over here why students pretty much fail in CA exams. So let's start with the first reason. Now, this will be a little bit odd for you guys. Why it's gonna be a little bit odd? Why? Because many of the times you see students saying that lack of planning is a reason for failure in CA exams. But here I've written something that's pretty odd, weird for some of you, to be very honest. I've written too much planning. So you can ask me, so can too much planning be one of the reason why a CA student fail in the examination? No, my answer is absolutely yes. My answer is absolutely yes. So let's try to understand why it is. Right, friends. So my answer is absolutely yes. So what do you mean by that, sir? What's the logic behind that? See, understand one thing, that at times I've seen students, they are planning too much. Too much in the sense, I personally believe that the more simpler you keep things, the better your probability of achieving the same. I have followed the same strategy in my life when I was writing CA exams or CS exams, or even the civils for that matter. I went with the same strategy where what I've done is that I try to keep things as simple as possible. I never try to mess up my mind with too much of planning. For example, what do you mean by too much of planning? For example, let's put it this way. Let's talk about SCMPE subject, because that's a subject that I deal. What I've seen in students is that they try to plan too much, in the sense, which chapter, how many marks is going to come in the examination, and after that, how many marks we have got in the examination. We have got 3 hours. In that 3 hours, then it means proportionately for each mark how many minutes we have got, or for an 8-mark question, how many within how many minutes we have to write it, and after that, how to prepare, and even in that preparation also, which chapter should be read first, which chapter should be read next, and in that again they'll have a stopwatch, they'll have a particular thing, and then again a particular area should be read from X author's books, and a particular area should be read from Y author's books, and a particular area should be read from Z author's books, and for a particular area, let's try to listen to so and so classes, and then let's listen to revision classes from a particular faculty, stuff like this. And it all gets messed up at the ending. See, always understand, I've learned a very big lesson when I was writing my CA exams. So what I felt that is, the more simpler you try to keep things, that doesn't mean that it has to be too simple, but the best possible simpler way of dealing examination is the best thing that you can do, is what I felt. For example, even I've seen the similar case in IS also. For example, I'll just tell you this way. There was a optional paper called sociology, and I took it as an optional paper for me as well. And I've seen a lot of people recommending that some 10 to 12 books, and from this book you study this area, from this book you study this area, from this book you study this area, and then you plan it this way, and this kind of question can come, that kind of question can come, all this kind of stuff. Then luckily I came across one particular person where he has studied only one book, and that one book he has studied 22 times. Now mark my words, that one book he has studied 22 times and he has scored 326. Now 326 is a phenomenal marks when it comes to CA final, civil's optional paper. It's I can say it's like almost 99 to 100 in CA final marks. It's that kind of impossible marks. And what that guy has done, just sticked on to one book, and he has just repeatedly read that again and again, again and again, again and again. Now this is one thing that I would like to tell you people. Even for me, when I was writing my CA final exams, I used to keep it very simple. I used to select a textbook, whether it is ICA material or any famous author material which is really good, which I personally like. It's, see, many times what used to happen is that we just go with the crowd. So when 100 people say that a particular book is really good, we just go with the flow, and then we just blindly purchase it, and then eventually we end up not liking it, and then but still we try to stick on to it because we go with the herd mentality. Now always understand that herd mentality is good in some cases, it's not good in some other cases, because maybe you might be a little bit special. We can't say. Ultimately, when you choose a book, it is you who has to personally like it. Now even if I recommend you a particular author's book, being your faculty, still if you personally don't like it, be it be the font, or be it be the flavor of the book, or be it be the way the explanation is going on in that book, you should not buy it. See, ultimately you should have such a kind of self-confidence on you. That is what I try to say always my students. See, that's why I always try to improve that individuality in my students, which means I personally believe that the less a student depends upon the faculty, the more stronger he will become and the more successful he'll be in future. So I always focus on that area. I don't think in a selfish way where I want students to depend on me because I don't feel it ethically correct. So that's the point. So the point is, don't plan too much. Try to keep things simple. I would rather say, to some extent, see the important areas, what comes for the exams based on any of the sources, like through me or through some other faculty for your respective subjects, and then pick a book or pick a class along with whatever the book that you get with the class, and then stick on with it, and then just keep on revising it, and there ends the matter. Don't think too much. Always trying to have some sort of expectation in your mind that last time so and so has come, this time from this chapter these many marks is going to come, having such a kind of expectations going into the examination hall, and then eventually finding out that those kind of marks from a chapter which you have expected has not at all come, and then you tend to get disappointed immediately, because that's human nature, and that will really affect your writing skills on the other areas also, despite you knowing it very well. In fact, I suffered personally when I was writing my CA final FR exam. So based on that experience, well, I'm telling you. So this is very, very, very important. Lack of planning is planning to fail. I agree that. But too much planning is also you're trying to mess up things. So don't mess up things. So try to keep things as simple as possible. Have a little bit of plan. That's it. Don't try to over, cook it. That's what. Now, moving on to the second one. Now, this also psychologically, it's very important. Phobia regarding difficulty of exam in society and social media. This, I personally feel, it's the most disturbing thing that I've seen. There is a lot of phobia going around in the social media and in the society that CA is very difficult. And as a result, you hear this term at least 5 to 10 times a day from your friends, from your relatives, or from social media. And then you try to give that sort of suggestion into your subconscious mind, where finally it gets completely imbibed into your mind, where it always says that CA is difficult, CA is difficult, CA is difficult, and therefore, so in a way, it is hurting your strength, it is hurting your excellence, it is hurting your preparation. You can ask me, sir, how is this hurting my preparation? Very simple. It's a negative thought process. See, you're not actually putting 100% of your efforts, and as a result eventually you fail your CA exam, and then you justify yourself saying that CA is a very difficult course, therefore I'm trying to justifying myself failing in the examination. Now please try to understand, if you have done the hard work, personally you know what the kind of efforts that you have done, you have put through, and despite putting those kind of efforts, if you fail in the examination, that's a different thing altogether. You're fine, you're absolutely fine, because you know you have put the efforts and still something went wrong. Maybe the presentation, or maybe the guy who's correcting your paper, or maybe your time is not good, or maybe in the last minute something has happened. So that's fine, there's nothing wrong in that. But not giving 100% effort from your side and then eventually failing in the exam, and then trying to justify yourself saying that अरे यार ये तो बहुत difficult course है इसलिए ऐसा हुआ, that's like you are trying to deceive yourself. So this phobia is like helping students deceiving their inability or indiscipline or lack of hard work, lack of determination, and lack of focus. Now this is something that you guys need to get out of it. Secondly, even this thought process also hurts you in giving your 100% when you're preparing for your exam. For example, if you just try to recollect, when you guys are writing your +1 and +2 or 10 for that matter, everybody firmly believed that you can score 100 out of 100, right? And therefore accordingly your efforts were up to that, and accordingly your marks were also like that. But now if you could just check yourself, your mind has been detuned in such a way that 60 itself is the biggest marks when it comes to CA final, because that's what the phobia going around in the society. And all of a sudden, if you could just check yourself now also, you will be thinking that 60 itself is 100 for you. Achieving 60 itself is the biggest thing for you. Your mind got detuned like that. So I want you guys to come out of this mess. Now I want you guys to target 100. Now don't laugh at this, saying that where is the question of possibility of getting 100. See, always there is a saying, aim at the moon so that at least you can land on the roof of your own house. So you just try to aim at the moon and you start to putting your efforts, at least you can land on the roof of your own house. Now what you guys are doing, you are aiming on the roof of your own house, then you will land nowhere. You will be still sitting here on the floor. Now that's not something that's good. Now this is very serious. Try to implement this and you will see wonders happening in your preparation. Now coming on to the third point, not being able to remember what they have studied. Now this is, I personally feel, 70% reason why CA students fail in their exam, especially when it comes to CA final. I don't really mind CA foundation or CA inter to some extent, because somehow people can manage it. But CA final, yes, this is the major reason. In fact, as I've told here, 70% this is the reason why CA students fail in the examination when it comes to CA final. See, understand one thing. When it comes to CA final, every single CA student does hard work. Every single CA student studies. There's no question of, I have not seen any one single CA final students who have not studied. Everybody, they study for 8 hours, 10 hours. They go to all the classes, in classes. See, attending classes is nothing but you're studying, right? Right? Unless the classes are pretty bad. Otherwise, you are actually studying. And then again, they study for 8 hours, 10 hours. They study for 6 months, sometimes 1 year. And despite that, only 10 to 15% of the people, they pass in the examination. Now, what is happening to remaining 85%? Does that mean that this 85% have not put effort? No, they have put effort. Does that mean that this 85% have not done hard work? Yes, they have done hard work. They have taken coaching classes. They have attended the classes perfectly. Everything they have done right. Then what's the biggest mistake they have done? They're not able to remember what they have studied. They're not able to retain what they have studied in the examination. Now, why this happens? This happens because of revision. Now, you can ask me, so that's a simple thing, sir. Everybody says that. Everybody says that you have to do revision. Now, please understand that, yes, everybody says, but how many of you are implementing it? Because revision has got a biggest bottleneck in it. And that's why, even though everybody knows that revision is the way to pass your examination, still people doesn't do it. The reason I'll tell you, let's take your taxes for matter, or law, or even SFM, or SCMP for that matter, any paper. Now you open the book and you start studying the first page. You find it very interesting because you're studying it for the first time. You're trying to learn something new. It's intriguing. It's really interesting. And then you go with the flow. 5th page, 10th page, 15th page, 20th page, 38th page, 40th page. And then you just move on continuously. Then what happens eventually after that? Once you reach the 100th page, the first 10 pages is gone. Poof, poof, that's it, gone. Once you read 150th to 200 page, say for example, first 50 is gone. You reach the 300th page, first 100 is gone. Have you ever faced this? Unless you are very gifted, uh, you will face this, obviously. But as I've told you, there are exceptions. So if you are gifted with memory, then fine. You are luckiest guy, okay? A guy or a girl, whatever it is. So you guys are excellent. But I'm talking about 95%, the majority of the people. You will forget. So you can't remember. So it's like you have put all the hard work for 1 month, say for example, for a particular paper, let's say it's GT, and then eventually you have studied some 700 pages, and you forgot all the 200 300 pages, the first 200 300, and then you open it up, you feel that you remember nothing, and you have to again start from the scrap. Now what is the conclusion of this? It means that you have not studied anything, right? So which means your entire effort of the earlier month is completely gone. This is the reason why many students, they study for 6 months or 7 months and eventually they fail in the exam because of this particular problem. It's as if they have not studied. So the solution for this is revision. That's the reason people tell you always to revise. But the problem, despite knowing, every CA student knows that revision is the one and only thing that can make you pass the examination, but still they don't do it. The reason is, when it comes to execution, the problem with revision is, I start with the first page and then I go to the 40th page and then I have to stop there. I should not continue after 40th page. I have to come back to first page and then read again first 40 and then go to 41, 42, 43 and then go to 80 and then again come back to the first page, and then from first page I have to go till 80 and then go for 81, 82, 83, like 120 till, and again I have to come back to the first page and go from 1 to 120 and then to 120 to 160 and then 1 to 160 and then 160 to 200 and then 1 to 200. We call it as cumulative revision. Now, the point is, what's the problem in implementing this when we know that this is the major reason which will help us pass the examination? The answer is the boredom. You don't find it interesting. When you have read first page to 40th page and then you have stopped at it and then immediately you come to the first page, you feel that you know everything. It's right in front of you. You feel that you know everything. You would have experienced this, and then you feel that anyway I know this, so why should I study? So let me move on to 41st page and then let's continue. Now that temptation you should overcome. So you personally feel that I already know this, because at that time you will remember, because it's fresh in your memory. So you feel that anyway I remember this, so I'm actually wasting my time in revising it. That's the bottleneck. That's the temptation. So you feel that I know this, I remember this, so I'm not finding it interesting to read it again, and I think I'm wasting my time because I remember this right now, so why should I read again? That's the temptation you have to overcome. If you can overcome that, if you can overcome despite knowing that you remember it right now, despite knowing that you have to read it one more time, that's where you are actually reaching your success, especially passing your CA final. Now tell me one thing, is it possible for everybody? No. So that's the problem. That's why, despite knowing that revision is the ultimate path for your success in CA final exams, despite knowing that, people don't do it, because this is a major challenge in executing the revision. Right. Coming on to the next point, wasting too much of time trying to save the money. Now this is something that I personally have seen in so many students. Now let me tell you a small kutti story. Okay. There was one of my friend who has passed this, CA Inter, and then he has come to CA final, and he was having this kind of financial problems at his home. And he told me that, so PK, I'm just, trying to do some sort of a part-time job because I can't see the hardship that my parents are going through. I cannot let them work hard for me, and thereby asking them 5,000 to 8,000 per month is really hurting me a lot. So I feel that I should go for a part-time job and then eventually I'll study it simultaneously, is what he was telling me. Now I told him in return, so your thought process is absolutely fine as a son, and you should be extremely determined, you should be extremely hardworking to actually work this out. Otherwise you'll end up in a flop show. So because it's very difficult to work and simultaneously study for majority of the students, once you get into this job work, once you start earning money again, managing it and coming back and then studying is very difficult. So I told him one thing. So what I told him is, so let's say that you're one among the majority of the guys where yes, you can do hard work, but not extraordinary. So we are not exceptional person. So I consider you as one among the majority. So based on that logic, I would rather ask you to ask your parents to ask your dad to even get some sort of a loan, a private loan or a loan from a bank. It doesn't matter, or a personal loan, whatever it is. Try to get loan, 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, get it. Now you're spending 5,000 to 8,000 per month. You start spending 15,000. You eat whatever you want to eat. You spend your time. You want to watch movies, you spend, and you study simultaneously. You finish off CA in another 6 months. No matter whether 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs of debt is going to happen, let it happen. Then you get a job with 1 lakh package. Finish off the debt in 3 months. Now that's the way you are going to make your parents happy. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So don't waste your time trying to save money. I've seen people, they don't mind paying 300 for their favorite hero's movie, but they really mind paying 300 to get a calculator. So they go with the Citizen Calci, which is around 120, instead of buying a Casio, which is 300 or 350. Now, really, do we have to compromise on these areas? Really, you think you're smart in doing this? Now, one of my friend has done something like this, and in the examination hall, from the table, that particular Citizen Calci has fell down, and eventually it stopped working. Now, imagine his plight in the examination hall. It happened. I'm not goofing up any story for you. It happened. Now, tell me what's the result? So where you have to compromise, you compromise over there, not in all the areas. And coming on to these books. Now, if there is a original book for an author that's available, whether it is 1500 or 2000, because the build of the book is really good, the font is really good. If it is a color book, that's really good. It gives you a nice feel. Buy it. Now, they don't try to save money by going for some sort of Xerox. And even in Xerox also, you'll not take full page Xerox. 2 pages will be done in 1 single page. And then if you try to study it, will it really sustain your interest? Because getting interest and studying itself is a big thing, right? So you should not have some other things which is hurting your interest. At least I wouldn't do that. So don't try to waste. And I have seen students like searching so many YouTube channels there, here, where there are free classes, that, this and all. So unless you're in deep trouble, deep financial trouble, I never recommend you guys to do this. Yes, trying to control your expenditure is good when you're especially having a financial trouble, but don't push it too hard that it affects you in a negative way. Try to break it out. Help yourself pass CA and then try to repay all the debt that you have incurred. That should be your thought process. See, you should be like an eagle, Nana. See, when there is a rain and we all try to escape the rain, right? Now, the way we escape is what all matters. Now, what we do, we try to find a shelter and then we go there and then we try to what? Duck down and then we try to escape from the rain. Now, what eagle does? It goes beyond the clouds. Now, both of us here, us and the eagle, both of us are actually trying to escape the rain, and we are escaping the rain. But look at the attitude of escaping, the way we have escaped. So I want you guys to be eagle. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So this is really important. So please try to understand this. Don't try to think about money in certain areas where you have to really spend it. And of course, there are a lot of areas where you can save, and there you can save money. There's no doubt in that. Try to focus more on passing CA rather than trying to save something over here and then trying to repay everything. Now, that should be your ultimate target. Fifth, focusing on hard work alone and forgetting about the smart work. Now, even in my class also, I tell my students, see, how many of you have really thought about how your CA correction will happen? Who is going to correct your paper? What will be his mindset? What will be his thought process? Based on what he is going to correct your paper? What kind of sentences you have to write so that he'll give you marks? What kind of, in which way I need to present so that I'll get the best marks out of him? What will be his thought process? Have you ever thought about this? It's not about just preparation and then writing, the right answer. You got to think about all these things as well, because ultimately that is the guy who has to give you marks. Now, did we ever thought of this? No. Now, obviously, I can't cover the whole thing in this particular video. Of course, it's going to be very big. So I'll try to cut short it. Now, these are all the things that you have to really, work upon. Understand your strength and weakness. For example, if you ask me, for me, costing was my favorite subject in my CA final. So I know that costing and finance, of course. So I know that costing and finance, anyway, I'm going to get marks, at least 50 plus for sure. And law, even though I don't, like it the way I like costing, but still, I'm very good at it. I'm very good at writing. So that's my strength. So I focused on these areas. TT was probably my weakness at that particular time. IDT was my strength again. So I worked out that way, and then it's my personalized plan. So I have seen students asking me for what kind of strategy they should have. Now that's absolute nonsense, because every strategy will be customized to the strength and weakness of a particular person. Now my strength is costing. Is your strength is costing? Now if that's not the case, how will my strategy suit you? Now that's absolute stupidity. So you should stop asking people for these kind of strategies. Now, or what you can do is that you can ask me, I'll share my strategy, take it as an example, and then customize the strategy to yourself based on what you feel, what is your strength and what is your weakness. So be smart. At CA final level, you should be smart enough. You should be smart enough. Are you able to understand? And don't just do hard work. Now, this is not the age of hard work. This is the age of smart work. Now, keep that in mind. Of course, the last but not least, lack of confidence. Now, what do you mean by this lack of confidence? Now, when I say lack of confidence, it means I have told my students many times, Nana, you follow this, you follow whatever that I am trying to tell you, you will score 70 plus, you will score 80 plus. Immediately they start laughing. Not all of them, some of them. Sir, how can I score 70 plus, sir? You must be making a lot of fun. It must be funny for you. I was like, see, if you can't even believe yourself, now who's going to believe on you? So look at the kind of thought process, and you guys are planning to pass CA. It doesn't work with this sort of attitude. Now, when I say, if you do this, you're gonna score 70, you should at least believe it. Whether you're actually going to get it or not, it's a secondary thing. You should believe it and work towards it. Result is secondary, the actual result. So what's your belief right now? Now, the belief itself where you say that, no, sir, 40 is enough for me, sir. Now, when you say 40 is enough for me, sir, 50 is enough for me, sir, then if something goes wrong in the examination, then you'll end up being 30 or 35. You're risking yourself a lot here. Try to use your brain a bit. Now, why don't have confidence? Now, see, understand one thing, guys. It doesn't matter how you're passed your CA IPCC. It doesn't matter whether you have taken 6 attempts in your CA Inter. It doesn't matter whether you have taken 3 attempts in your CPT. It doesn't matter whether you have just passed with 200 marks in your CA Inter. It doesn't matter. That was past. That was yesterday. What you're today. You know what? I have one of my friend. I still remember. I don't want to take his name. He was my classmate since 5th standard to 9th standard. And when we have come to 10th, till that time he was a son of a milkman in our town. It's a small town where I've studied, and he was just getting 35, 38, 35 marks is the pass marks, right? And he was getting 38, 40, 42, max 45. That used to be his range till 9th, from 5th till 9th. When he has come to 10th, you know that 10th is a board exam, right? All of a sudden, you don't know what has happened. It's just 2 months of that holidays, the summer holidays, right? April, May. And when June, when the school has, started, he was giving tough competition to us. In the sense, we the toppers, where we used to get 95, 92, 93, he started getting it. It's just a matter of 2 months here. Now, what magic did it happen? What magic did happen over there? You see that? So the past doesn't define what you are today or tomorrow. The problem with you is this. You think that your friend has passed in the first attempt, or your friend has scored all India single digit rank, and then you have taken 6 attempts. Therefore, your friend is something special and you're absolutely nonsense. Now, that's not true. As far as I am concerned, there are only 2 types of people in this entire world. Those who practice, those who do not practice. I don't really believe in this, what is that? Intelligence, the memory and kind of things. Although I've told you in this particular video that if you're good with memory, I just went with the general logic of the public, okay? But I personally don't believe in all these things. Maybe there are exceptions, okay, fine. 1% people, you keep them aside. But majority of the people, I believe that more or less everybody is of the same level of intelligence. So it's all about those who practice and those who do not practice. The so-called intelligent friend whom you're referring, he might be practicing without your knowledge, or maybe you're studying 4 hours and he's sitting along with you and he's studying the same content within 1 hour, probably because he's concentrating a lot more, which you're not able to do because of various reasons. Maybe the food that you're eating is absolute nonsense. Maybe you're eating full stomach and that gives you a lot of dizziness. Maybe you're not taking a healthy diet. Maybe your friend, without your idea, he's maybe doing some sort of meditation, or he's taking a healthy food, or sometimes maybe his genes is helping him. Probably, we don't know. Are able to understand? So we don't know what's the actual reason. But what I personally believe is that it's all the practice and the non-practicing guys. So you practice, you do the hard work. Of course, when I say hard work, I'm referring to smart work as well. You pass, otherwise you're out of it. Now this, of course, there are so many other reasons also. I don't want to make this video lengthy. So in the next video, in the part 2 of this video, I'll try to cover the other reasons. Mostly I'll try to cover the psychological reasons and the other stuff. So this, I particularly feel that, major top reasons why CA students fail in, CA final, especially CA final. Of course, it applies to CA Inter and CPT as well, or CA Foundation right now. So I hope this particular little bit of effort from my side helped you guys. So if that's the case, then hit that like button and put a comment. In the comment, just tell me how you guys feel. And apart from these reasons, is there any other reason which you feel that is one of the major reasons why CA students fail in the examination? And if you can comment that, I'll read each and every comment, and probably in the part 2 of this video, I'll try to put those reasons, and then probably I'll try to give you the best solution from my side. So if your problem is not covered in any of these reasons which I've mentioned over here, then probably you just put it in the comment section. I'll read it and I'll cover that. I'll include that in my next part of the video, which I'm anyway planning to make. I hope this really helped you guys. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. That really helps boost our channel. Now that is the food for us and helps us to put all these efforts, right? Thank you so much, guys. Love you. So this is PK sir signing off. Thank you.